So let's continue working on this mini trophy truck project, or I've started to call it, is just the two-seater. Now, I'm trying to get this thing ready for an upcoming Windrock trip coming up soon, and I've been watching some videos on the trails we want to go on, and I feel like I need to add some type of protection for these sprockets because I will admit this is kind of a flaw in this chain-driven trailing arm suspension, is that these sprockets are really vulnerable to getting hit by rocks and getting damaged or something, and I've been really trying to figure out the best way and the easiest way to somehow protect them, and I came up with an idea of what if we just simply take some aluminum discs that are slightly bigger than the sprockets and mount them to the side of the sprocket, so if it does get hit by a rock, that aluminum disc gets hit and not the sprocket itself. I'm not really sure how well it's going to work because, I mean, the whole axle and hubs assembly is still going to be getting hit, but at least the sprocket and chain won't be getting hit. So we'll see if it works. If not, I can always remove it. And I will also make it, if they do get damaged, because there is a potential for them to get bent in the way of the sprocket, I will make it to where we can easily remove them if we need to. Now, I'd love to use my arc droid to cut these out, but unfortunately, the plasma cutter that I have for that thing is not strong enough to cut through this 3/8 aluminum plate, so we're just gonna have to use a bandsaw. Alright, so this is the size sprocket that we're trying to cover. I put some chain on here because I'm trying to figure out how big do I need this thing. And I was looking in the pile of brake discs I have, and I found this one. This is actually perfect size. It's about 1 inch total bigger, so about 1/2 inch on either side. Yeah, I think this is perfect size for this thing. So now we have something to, trace out the size of this, and then we just have to cut it out. Man, this little thing is awesome. I should have bought it years ago. Makes a nice clean cut. So something I just realized is I need to bore the center of these next, and these are way too big to clamp on the outside. So I need to figure out, how am I going to do this? I was planning on drilling holes in the middle of this to try and lighten these up. I wonder if I can use that. If I drill 4 of them, equally spaced, then I can put this in the forge out chuck. So one thing I thought of that's kind of a design flaw in this, I should have made it to where the sprocket bolts on this side of this hub, not on this side. That makes it to where, worst case, if I do have to take the sprocket off, I have to take the hub off. So that's kind of a design flaw right there, whoopsies. There it is. Close enough. Alright, so the chain guards, sprocket guards are finished. Now, there's, like I said before, there's two ways that I can think of that these could potentially be an issue. Is one, these potentially could get damaged so bad that these bend in the way of the chain and sprockets and kick the chain off. But if that does happen, what I can always do is just remove these 5 bolts, pull these off, or if it's even just bent in one direction, I can even flip it around. So as bad as that would be, it is fixable on the trail, worst case. The second thing being, because I'm probably going to be driving this thing on gravel roads and spots where there's a bunch of rocks, I do potentially see that there could be a scenario where a rock on the bottom side right here gets caught in between the chain and the sprocket guard and kick the chain off, just like that. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but worst case, if it does, as long as nothing gets heavily damaged, we just put the chain and put the chain back on. But you know, I don't really foresee those happening often, but I do think these will definitely help better protect these chains and sprockets. Alright, now I know I said in the last video of this project that I was pondering buying a more powerful power steering column for this thing, but now that I've greased everything and lubricated the heim joints, greased the rack and pinion properly, the steering is now a lot easier. So I'm kind of wondering, can I maybe get away with this one? Because I will admit, I am way over budget with this project, and do I want to spend another $600 something on a more powerful power steering column when I can possibly make this one work? So, but I do want to redo the, I guess what you would call the intermediate shaft, the, you know, what goes between the power steering column and the rack and pinion, because the way that I set this up, I made it to where it has room for the radiator that was going to go in the front of this thing, but now that we put the radiator in the back, we don't need to have the intermediate shaft the way that it is now, because I kind of don't like how it's set up. It makes it to where the steering U-joint on the rack and pinion is at a really sharp angle, as well as there's a third steering U-joint, so I want to get rid of those. And also, I bought this on eBay. This is a extendable and collapsible steering column. I think this is for a Dodge. I think it's like a Dodge truck or something like that. So this will make it to where even if we do end up, you know, replacing the power steering column, we're not going to have to redo this because it'll be extendable, and we can just simply connect it to the other power steering column wherever it ends up. So yeah, let's just redo this because I don't like how it's set up right now. So it's at a little bit better of an angle. It's not as bad as it was before, but I don't know. Will we notice a difference? Hopefully. So there's still a lot more stuff we have to do to this thing before it is technically finished. I'm just trying to prioritize certain things over others. Now, I think next thing this thing needs is some brake lights. I found these on eBay. These are pretty cheap. Motorcycle brake lights as well as running lights. These I want to add to right here and here. I'm going to try to make them recessed into the frame, so if I do back into anything, they don't get smashed. I have these bigger ones. These are brake lights as well as normal lights, so these could act as reverse lights. I would like to figure out a way to wire them into the reverse, so when I do put it in reverse, these come on. You know, the reverse net light comes on, but I'm not really sure exactly how I'd do that. So I gotta figure out, you know, if I can do that, or should I just hook it up to a toggle switch. So these I want to add to the corners on the top right there and right there. Yeah, I'm not sure if I should go to the corners or should go to the middle. I don't know. Alright, wiring is done. Let's hope it works because I already put electrical tape on everything and zip tied everything. So if it doesn't work, I'm going to have to undo all that. Hopefully it works. Alright, after about 4.5, maybe 5 hours of wiring, I think I got everything hooked. So let's see if everything works. So I should be, so I made it to where when I turn the key on, these two lights turn on for the running lights. Are they on? Nice, they're on. Alright, hopefully the brakes work. Nice. Look at that. Is it bright enough? Hopefully. Now, here's the real test. Does the reverse light work? Nice. Check that out. That's reverse. Nice. Ooh, those are nice and bright. Yeah, that is awesome. We have working reverse lights. Now, in case you guys are wondering how I set this up to where I can put this in reverse and the reverse lights turn on automatically. So I took advantage of this. So basically, when this is in reverse, notice how far back this thing is. And that's in medium range, and it's not as leaned back as much as it is when it's in reverse. And that's reverse. Man, I'll admit, I gotta oil this. This is just that's some horrible noises. And I just simply welded a button right here, so therefore in reverse, that is reverse. If this lever comes down, hitting the button, turning on reverse lights, but it doesn't go down enough in medium range. So that's medium range. This doesn't come down enough to hit the button. It only does that in reverse. So right now that's low range, medium range, high range, and that's reverse. Yeah, it's simple, but it works. While I was at it working on wiring, I also hooked up a horn. It's an old one of those Ugo horns, whatever they're called. I think I bought it from Harbor Freight years and years ago. And I'm finally putting it on something. Kind of sounds like crap.